And we are back. Pokemon Pearl Hardcore Nuzlocke. The run continues here. We've beaten the first 7 gyms already, and on our way to the 8th gym, we have to stop by the Team Galactic headquarters and take on just like 70 different grunts, but all leading up to Cyrus, the main baddie here, Galactic Boss Cyrus, and his team isn't as big as it's going to be at the Spear Pillar, which is normally where you fight him for the Distortion World battle in Pokemon Platinum, which is really difficult. So he has one less Pokemon this time around, thankfully. But this is going to be the first battle against Cyrus, so nothing too crazy. I just got to watch out against the super effective ice typing for our bird there. So we just swap into the Machamp, we eat a slash, we tank a quick attack, no problem. We take out the Sneasel. So Sneasel and Murkrow down, no problem. And now for the Golbat. As you're going to start to see, Cyrus has a lot of strong flying type Pokemon, and the only electric type I have in this run is the Shinx that died before the first gym. I have like 20 other Pokemon in the PC, and none of them are electric, which is super interesting. So we're just going to have to work around that. It does make the Cyrus fights like really tough, even more so. If I just had one or two electric types, it would just be amazing. And that has to be like the third critical hit Cyrus has gotten on my team. He's really punishing me for swapping around, which is what you want to see from a boss battle. But again, I've only lost one Pokemon so far, so I'd rather not lose any more. And the team is doing really good. We took a lot of damage, but we cleaned up that fight. No problem. There are still several fights in between the 7th and 8th gym, so let's go and see what happens next. So moving right along, right after we beat Cyrus, we go into this kind of laboratory area and we're setting free the mythical Pokemon here, and yet another fight ensues, and I did not heal 3 of the Pokemon that got injured, so a lot of this pressure is riding on Mahiru the Staraptor to clutch. Thankfully, this Galactic boss has a lot less threats than Cyrus, so really good stuff here. I'm just going all in on the close combat. Bronzer does get a nice gyro ball down there, but again, it's only a Bronzer. Bronzong is not getting a lot of love this run, but his ace Toxicroak comes down. Thankfully, we do have the super effective aerial ace, but if that didn't one-shot, we may have been in trouble. So we beat up Saturn, no issues there, and we are on to the next fight or encounter, depending on which one comes first. All right, we have arrived at the top of the Spear Pillar here. We're about to take on Cyrus once again with his fully equipped, fully evolved team, which is pretty scary. But before, we have to take on a double battle with Mars and Jupiter, both commanders here that we fought previously. And actually, Barry comes in out of nowhere and is going to go back to back with us, and we take on both. So it's going to be one Pokemon from our team and one Pokemon from Barry's team. So we send out the Gyarados here, and he's got a Munchlax, which is really nice, very bulky, can take a lot of hits, and sometimes, you know, the commanders can just double down on him and keep us safe. So that's kind of what I'm banking on. We're just going to try to get out of the gym here with Dragon Dances and get our Gyarados just completely super speed as well as massive damage. And unfortunately, the Bronzers are really firing away with extra sensory. And now I'm thinking maybe I should take out these little guys before they start getting crits, or maybe get some status down. But I fail to take out one of them. And then Rock Slide comes down, but actually does minute damage. I think if you use AoE moves in a double battle, it actually halves it or decreases the damage spread. I could be wrong on that. That might be a generational thing. That might be different in different generations. Either way, Bronzer is not very strong, so the Rock Slides are not going to do anything. On top of that, he's slower, so we're never in danger of a flinch. But the Perugly comes out and lands a critical hit slash on the Gyarados, so we are like, we need to get this big girl out of here. And again, I'm trying to get rid of one side. If we can take out one commander's lineup of Pokemon, then only the other one can send out theirs, making it essentially a 2v1. However, the Golbat comes down, and with Gyarados being that low, I'm just really not willing to risk anything. I think even if Bronzer gets a critical hit, then we lose the Gyarados, and it's really hard to tell what Barry is going to do with the Munchlax. If it was someone we could actually talk to and communicate with, then we could double down and make sure each Pokemon got taken out. So no problem there. We're not taking any risks. I get the Staraptor out there again, extra Intimidate down. And really, I'm just like, Barry, use your Munchlax as a shield. I'm just going to keep using Fly. So that's an extra turn that we're out of the battlefield, and Munchlax can just keep tanking as he's doing. So sometimes Barry can really let you down in this fight. However, Barry's doing just fine with his Munchlax being a nice utility tank here and just chipping away at the enemy. And then it is really opening the door for Mahiru, the Staraptor, to just make some plays. And I do believe that leads us to 2 Pokemon left on Jupiter's side. And this is going really well. So Poison Jab comes down, eats up Munchlax's HP, but the stockpiles continue to raise the defenses. Staraptor with a nice fly. Flamethrower goes onto Barry's side, which is really nice. The Reflect finally goes away, and now we're open to just destroying the Skuntank. And alley-oop Screech there. I'm mid-air with the Staraptor. Munchlax completely negates Skuntank's defense, and it just opens the door to a massive fly onto the Skuntank. That was really cool. And now we just double down and finish the Golbat. No problem. We complete this really scary double battle sometimes with basically our Staraptor and Gyarados on top of Barry's Munchlax. So really good stuff. That gets me even more excited for our 1v1 against Barry right before the Elite Four. It's always a fun fight. So Palkia is getting a little bit tipsy here, basically the galaxy swirling around it. And we are on to the Cyrus fight. This is really good stuff. Let's do it. All right, big bad Cyrus. He's coming in. Again, his Pokemon are fully evolved. They are ready to go. He's got 4 really strong Mons here, and we are fully equipped with a team of 6, though. We are ready. I had the move set with me just in case. I didn't want to leave any stone unturned here, and the Honchkrow comes out first. Is just Murkrow, but better, as evolutions seem to go sometimes. So we abuse his embargo turn with the items play, and we're just going to get 2 Dragon Dance down. We just really need to watch out for criticals and just damage getting out of control. So we get 2 Dragon Dance. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Gyarados' base attack is already really high, and we one-shot the Honchkrow. So really good stuff there. Unfortunately, his Gyarados comes down and negates one of our Dragon Dance procs, and we can't really hit the Gyarados for anything. I have yet to teach Gyarados Earthquake, but even still, we couldn't hit 3 out of 4 Pokemon on his team because they're flying. Gyarados comes in with a massive Giga Impact, and I let go of the speed button. I was terrified, but we live with 18 HP. I really didn't need to risk that. However, that means someone would have had to eat the Giga Impact, and I think Yoichi the Golem could have, but if Gyarados for some reason opted into a Aqua Tail, it could basically one-shot the Golem. So I was a little bit nervous there. You never fully know what the AI is going to do, which makes it so fun and interesting. So Cyrus uses a Super Potion on the Gyarados, and I'm really just fishing for a Paralysis to open the door here. And thankfully, Gyarados does miss a Stab Aqua Tail. We do get the Paralysis on the second Body Slam. Akane doing work. Gastrodon, an absolute staple in this run, and just chips the Gyarados all the way down to nothing. And we only have 2 Pokemon left against Cyrus. The Weavile comes down. If this was Pokemon Platinum in the Distortion world, he would also have a Houndoom, which is a little bit scary. Weavile comes in with an X-Scissor, gets us into range, because if Night Slash comes down and crits, we do lose Gastrodon. And you can kind of see me hesitating. I'm like, is this something I want to do? But again, if you swap in and out over and over, you are opening the door to critical hits, but the Gastrodon tanks the Ice Punch, the Stab Ice Punch, and holds on with 30 HP, and we managed to get the Citrus Berry pop there. I was really hoping for another Paralysis. We don't get it, but Weavile is now flirting with half HP, opening the door to Machamp, and again, if we don't get critical hit, we will be just fine. Kamizuki tanking that, no problem. We are slower, so we're going to go for the 100% accuracy on Revenge, and if you get hit first, the damage goes out the window. It's so good. A little bit of Oran Berry there, and Revenge takes out the Weavile 4 times super effective. And now the Crobat is last on the menu. We have been completely chunked. Half of the team is either in the red or yellow. And now I have 3 Pokemon to opt into, and we go with the Golem here. We eat a Cross Poison, no problem. I actually got rid of Rock Throw for Double Edge since it's 100% accuracy, and our passive is Rock Head. So any recoil damage does not affect us, which is really nice. So Rock Throw would actually do 150 power if it's super effective, but it also has a 10% chance of missing. So we opt in for the Double Edge. Yoichi going through the confusions, no problem. We do suffer from the flinch there, but he misses the flinch on the second one, and I think that was the 4th or 5th Double Edge coming down there, and we finish the Crobat, and we complete the fight against Cyrus. I do believe that is everything leading up to the 8th gym. We might have one more first encounter, but either way, let's go and see what happens next. All right, we are nearing the end of our first encounters here, and we end up running into Glam Meow in Route 222 right before the 8th gym here. Get the Seismic Toss down and secure her or him on the first throw. You'll love to see it. And now we are on to the 8th and final gym. Let's do it. We have arrived at the 8th and final gym at long last against Minato. I mean Volkner, that's not Naruto's dad. We got 4 electric types, or I should say 2 electric types, then a normal and water type, both with electric type moves. So I really like what some of these gym leaders did. They threw in a couple counters, they threw in a couple Pokemon that aren't the specific type and that can potentially threaten Pokemon that you have that can counter their normal typing. So if you usually come in with a ground type, they have an answer for that in 1 or 2 other Pokemon, which is really cool. You'll love to see that. So that is going to be a nice preparation for the Elite Four there. But as far as the team goes, we do have 3 ground typings here. We got 2 fighting types and also a fire. So we have a lot of variety, and I think we're going to be able to deal with whatever Volkner throws at us. So this is it, our last gym battle. I'm very excited. I've been having so much fun with this run. And the only things we have left after Volkner is Victory Road, that final fight against Barry, and then the Elite Four. So we are nearing the end here. Let's see if we can finish the gym battles on a really high note. So Raichu comes down, and I do believe we just go for the Earthquake one-shot. We could try to cheese a Leech Seed Curse setup, but honestly, they might throw out a Pokemon that can really threaten Yuichiro, just like we talked about. So let's keep Torterra as safe as possible. It goes for a Brick Break. No critical hits here, and we're going to be looking really good. Now, if this crits, as always, it's going to be set us back here. But it doesn't crit, no problem. Just a little bit of chip damage. And Torterra uses the Earthquake, and let's see if that is enough to kill the Raichu. It absolutely is. Puts down the adorable Raichu. And now we are down to 3 Pokemon. Octillery comes out, and this is the water type that Volkner has in his back pocket, and it does have access to an ice type move in Aurora Beam, which is 4 times super effective against our Torterra. So I do believe we pivot into one of our fighting types, and I do believe we go Machamp because the special defense is a lot higher than the Medicham. So we're going to eat the Aurora Beam, hopefully no attack drop, and it gets the attack drop, unfortunately. So what that means is I think we go for the Cross Chop then to get the critical and override that attack drop, or at least have the chance to override that attack drop, and it doesn't, and look at that. I'm fairly certain that would have brought Octillery to the red if it didn't get that, or at least really close. So then it also gets an accuracy drop from the Octazooka, and we are in crit range if it lands another one, which is super interesting. And I'm going to live on the edge here and go for another Cross Chop, and it does connect through the accuracy debuff on top of poor accuracy with an 80% chance, and it does get the fadeaway critical. Kamizuki the Machamp absolutely flexing with all 4 arms here. And that leaves us with 2 Pokemon. Now, Ambipom normally would be a one-shot, but we have an accuracy debuff and we have an attack debuff. Um, but honestly, looking at Ambipom's moveset, it only has Shockwave as a attacking move. Now it does have Baton Pass and Agility, so it might cheese that strategy. So normally I would want to pivot into a ground typing, but I think we can just stay in for at least one turn. I don't think it can kill, even with a crit Shockwave. Isn't Ambipom more of a physical attacker anyway? So I'm going to go all in on a revenge here. It goes for the nasty plot, gets a... Oh, that it has nasty plot and baton pass. I really overlooked that. So if it does get the baton pass off, it can give that nasty plot to the Luxray, which makes a lot of sense. However, Luxray's only special attack move is Charge Beam, which doesn't do a lot of damage. So given all of those factors, I think we're just going to pivot back into Torterra and not overthink this. There's the agility. So it's +2 speed, +2 special attack, but Yuichiro is in a position where Earthquake one-shots the Ambipom, and Earthquake probably one-shots the Luxray. So this smiling little monkey guy is absolutely gone, and that leaves Volkner's Ace right here, right now. Really, really cool Pokemon. It is a little bit on the slower side as far as electric types go, and it's also a physical electric type, which doesn't have access to Thunderbolt or Thunder as readily as another one, like Raichu. So it's kind of in between for me, but I love its design, and I think it's really cool. So this one's for the Shinx that we lost. Torterra drops back with the Earthquake. We're actually faster, which is just ridiculous. Electric types usually are very quick and very high in special attack, much like Jolteon. But Luxray does not have what it takes to hold on, and our ace, Torterra, takes down Volkner's ace, Luxray, all over the place in this video, as I tend to do, but we secure the win. That is 8 gym badges down, none to go. And again, it's just Victory Road and the Elite Four. Exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Let's do this thing. As always, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.